Welcome to Frido. So just begin to relax, and we're going to begin with a small meditation followed by the Journey of Frido poem. So just begin to relax yourself and get settled. And if you need to move or adjust yourself at any time, feel free. And I just invite you to close your eyes and begin to observe your body sensations, your breathing, and any thoughts that may or may not come into the mind. Just gently scan through your body from the top of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes. Simply observing, noticing any feelings, any sensations that may arise in any one of your body organs or parts of your body. Notice if there's any tension or any relaxation. And as you continue to breathe, you can now expand your awareness out into the room or the space that you're in. Just noticing the temperature of the air on your skin and any sounds around. Just continuing to breathe comfortably as your awareness expands out into the town that you live in or your surrounding area. Just observing how that feels. As your attention expands further still out into the world, into the whole world, noticing the atmosphere, the feelings in the world, with all its people, animals, plants, different races and religions, different age groups, physical abilities, different cultures. Just noticing and observing the world. Maybe your attention goes to one particular country or culture, or perhaps nothing, just a feeling. And as you continue to breathe comfortably, expand your awareness now out into the universe, the infinite universe of ever-ending space. Just notice the atmosphere, the energy of the universe. And you can just float around for a while. You can float around the universe as long as you want. Notice how that feels. Maybe you'll go somewhere, or maybe you'll stay in one place. And when you're ready, in your own time, you can gently begin your journey back into the world, back into the town, back into your space, and finally returning back into your body. once again noticing your breathing, noticing any thoughts, and noticing any body sensations. And while you're in this particular state, I'm going to read out the Frido Journey. It's a poem, The Journey of Frido. Something stirs from deep inside. It twists and turns 1,000 times. It pulls and stretches into shape. A figure shows and moves around. A hand supports it from below until it feels and begins to grow. Building blocks are put in place until the figure is nice and safe. The figure starts to create its own, from light and darkness, vibrating tone. Birth and death begin to rise. The figure splits to compromise. The figure then creates some space. Now life and death begin their race, until the space has found a way to stabilize and have its say. Space creates a home for all, the separation of large and small, of water, fire, earth and air, weight and lightness, cold and brightness, pain and sorrow, love and joy. Out of this space comes girl and boy. The figure has journeyed through time and space, feeling as though it has won the race, looking around only to find a universe of an amazing kind. The training's been tough, it's been testing and rough. The figure is ready, it's complete and steady. Back to the source, the figure must run, for now the journey has just begun. So we're going to be working on this card today. It's called the Brain, and it's the red chakra at the bottom, the root chakra, the foundation of everything, and at the top you can see the white triangle. So that's the yang energy. It's the energy of doing. It's more active. And if you look at the card, you can see it's like this character is you on your journey. You know, the symbol you've chosen to journey with today. And the mountain is your symbol that you're exploring. And you're going round. It's like if you're studying, you know, your symbol is love. It's like you've been on a love journey for some time. And sometimes we just go round in circles. Sometimes going from one love relationship to another one, which is exactly the same. The same problems arise, you know, the same patterns. So this is all about, you know, you jump off of that mountain. You jump out of your old way of thinking. So pen and paper at the ready. And at the top of the paper, if you want, you can put a date, you can put the name of the journey, brain tuning. and the symbol, the word you've chosen to journey with today. So I'm going to show you some descriptions like this. And there's different descriptions on there. So there's like sad, whisper, slow, angry, joy, serious, frustrated, scary, creepy, sensual, singing, accent, silent, lazy. There's all different descriptions of like a style, how we could talk. Like we could talk like in a lazy way, like this. Or we can talk in kind of a whisper, or very fast, or very slow. So we're going to be practicing this technique because it's a wonderful way of changing the way we think normally. Because if I was to ask you to say something like hello, the chances are you'd probably say it in a similar way than you'd normally say it. I'd say, hey, hello, hello, hello. It's exactly the same. Whereas somebody else would say it differently, but it'd be the same for them. Like, oh, hey, oh, hey. It's exactly the same. So our brain is conditioned, it's programmed to just repeat the same things. It's really useful. We don't have to think about it each time. So we want to change that. We want to put a new program in the brain. And the best way to do this is to do the same thing, but differently. For example, if you were going to want to stop smoking, as an example, okay, someone who smokes, they've got lots of thoughts that are telling them to smoke, and smoking's okay and it's fine, and it's their one vice that they've got, and there's lots of conditioning around that. Whereas when we try and give up smoking, we start putting new ideas in there, like, oh, smoking's bad for us, we're better off not to smoke. And what happens normally is they fight each other. So it's like, it's the same as if we're trying to lose weight. There's a part of us that, enjoys eating, and that's been with us for years. That's why we're still eating, because there's a very strong thought program that's keeping us eating. Oh, if we don't eat, we're going to get hungry. I really like my food. I'm only going to live this life once. I may as well enjoy it. I don't like those other foods. So we've got lots of words and programming that's keeping us in that belief system, and that also affects how we feel. So many people then try and create a new program by saying, oh, I shouldn't eat. I should eat less food, less food. I want to be healthier. But the problem is often they're not as strong. They haven't built up over a long enough time to become the strong viewpoint, the strong belief system. So what we're going to do here is we're going to use a technique where it's like we're doing the same thing, so we're not fighting it. So if we want to give up smoking, we're not going to say, I want to give up smoking, stop smoking. We're going to continue to smoke, but maybe do it differently. Like, don't breathe as much in. Get a lighter cigarette. Don't smoke as many puffs in 5 minutes. So we're kind of doing the same thing, but a bit different. And we can also start to add kind of, nice things in our thoughts. Like, oh yeah, this is actually feels okay, rather than feeling guilty. And in that process, we can start reprogramming our brain to smoke less and less and less. And gradually we won't smoke at all. And it's the same as eating. We can begin eating, and again, still eating the cakes and the cookies, but maybe eating them in a different way. A little bit less cookies on the plate. This kind of thing. So we're practicing this brain tuning technique. So what we're going to do is you're going to choose, but you're going to be using your symbol. So the word you've chosen for this journey, whether it's love or confidence or fear or somebody's name, whatever word you've chosen to journey with. And we're going to start to reprogram that word and how we respond to it and feel about it and think about that word and how it affects us. So imagine if you've got fear as your word, and maybe fear is a big problem in your life, because that's how you're responding to fear in your life. As soon as you think fear, your body will react in its usual way. It might start shaking or feeling a bit stuck or something like this. So we're going to be using that word and we're going to be retuning it. Okay, so the way we're going to do it is in different styles. We're going to repeat the word, because this is about repetition. To create a new program is to repetition. If we say it enough times, it will start to stick in the brain. So I want you to start repeating your word. So if your word is love, you'll just start repeating it. And to begin with, just repeat it how you would do normally. You might say love, 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 love. And then choose another style, because now we're going to start to change the vibration of the word love. So we might say in a whisper, love, 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 love. We may then change the style again and say in like a clever way, like love, 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 love. A loud way, love, love, love. A frustrated way, love, 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 love. A crazy way, love, 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 love. A fearful way, love, love. A cute way, love, 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 love. A depressed way, love, love, love. Angry way, love, love, love. And a quiet way, a false way, love, 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 love. So you get the idea. So have a good practice. Spend 5 or 10 minutes or longer with this practice. Again, here's some of the styles you can use, or you can pick your own different styles of how you can say them. Same as an old woman or a man or a dog. How would a dog say it? Okay, so once you've done that, and we're now kind of making the brain more pliable, more flexible. So imagine I've been working with the word fear, and I've been saying it in a silly way, like fear, 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 and a stupid way, or a baby way. Fear, fear. It changes how I'm feeling about that word, that vibration in my head, and it will start to change how I feel, and actually think about it as well. Sometimes it might kind of trigger me to think, actually, it's a bit silly, fear. It's a bit silly, this fear. This is really, really great. So now we're going to do the activation. So this is like a body activation. To get it more into the body, we can start to act, as well as say and repeat the words in different styles. We can act in that way. So angry, it'd be like, like love, 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 love. Bring the body into it. Love, love, love. And then in a confident way, love, love, love. In a baby way, love, love, love. In a crazy way, love, love, love. So have a little practice, get the body involved in it as well. So you're kind of acting out the word as well, you're expressing it. Okay, so once you've done that, so we've gone from the mind in the body, we're tuning the vibration of your word, we're retuning it into a way that you want it to be in your life. Okay, so now we're going to get on to doing the ritual, and the ritual's called brain change. So one way you can do this, you can write down different things, like different daily activities that you might be doing, like making a cup of tea, or making food, or going for a walk, stretching your body, talking, hugging. You can kind of make a list of just the general things you do, but practice doing them in a different way. So for example, I might go for a walk, and instead of walking the same way as I always do, which that's how I would normally walk, the usual way, I'll try and walk a bit different. I might walk with a little jiggle, or moving my hips differently, this kind of thing. If I make a cup of tea normally, like, pouring the kettle like this into the cup, maybe I'll turn it around and pour it this way, or turn it backwards and pour it this way. Maybe if I'm writing something, maybe I'll try my different hand to write something. If I scratch my head like this normally, I'll try and scratch it differently, in a way I wouldn't normally scratch it. And if I stretch my body, so I'd normally stretch my neck maybe like this, maybe I'll stretch it just a bit different, like a different way. Or maybe my fingers, maybe I've never, normally if I close my fingers like this, I would do it like this, but maybe I'll try and do it like that. Just do it differently. You might find that, I don't think I've ever done that before in my whole life. I've never closed my fist in that way. Really nice. Or maybe instead of writing forward, maybe write backwards. That's really good. It's really hard, because even doing something a bit different, even closing your fist in a different way than you don't normally do, sometimes it's really tricky, because you're reprogramming the body and the brain to do something in a different way. So imagine if you've got like a job, and now you're learning to do it in a different way. Same job, different way. You're in a relationship, but you start doing it differently. Same relationship, you start doing it in a different way, because you want to have a change. If you do things the same, you're going to get the same result every time. So if you want change, you need to start doing things in different ways. But don't make them too difficult. Do the same things in a different way. If you sleep on the right side of the bed, sleep on the left side of the bed. It's great. You can practice this ritual wherever you are. You can even try and do things you've never done before. Maybe you've never lifted one eyebrow before. Give it a go. Or move your ears, or maybe you've never scratched your head with your wrist or your forearm. Have a think about things you've maybe never tried before with your body. In other words, you're touching your body in a different way, moving your body in a different way. And this is a fabulous ritual that you can practice wherever you are. Try watching TV like that, or like this, or like that. You can just try it in a different way. Talk to someone in a different way. So you might say, oh, hi Gary, how are you? And then instead of saying it like that, you might say, oh, hi Gary, how are you? Just like slightly adjust it. You'll see it will feel weird and a bit strange maybe. But each time we do something differently, we're practicing being able to reprogram our brain. So although I'm practicing just saying like, hey Gary, in a different way, I'm actually practicing being able to use this skill, so that when I want to change other things, my brain's already adaptable. So have a go, see how you get on. So what you need to do now is just give yourself a learning. So what have you learned from your journey today? So, and this learning is like an affirmation. So you make it very, very small. You're welcome to write down long learnings just to begin with, if you just want to brainstorm your learnings, 1 or 2 or 3. And you might choose many words, but you want to end up with one short learning affirmation. Like, for example, changing thoughts helps me change. Changing thoughts helps me change. Something short, something you can remember that feels powerful. Doing things differently is wonderful. Maybe I've learned that today. Doing things differently is wonderful, or doing things differently can be fun, or is fun. Change is fun. That's even more powerful. Change is fun. So I've learned that change is fun. Change is interesting. So come up with a learning affirmation for you, for your journey today. It can be about your word, or it doesn't matter, actually. You'll probably be able to relate it to your word, but just a learning for today. That's the point of the journey, is to come up with something you've learned. And then once you've done that, to complete the journey, you want to come up with a way to practice that learning. So if my learning was, change is fun, how can I practice that? So I can maybe, what can I do to practice learning is changing is fun? So maybe what I'll do tomorrow when I walk to my car, I'll walk in a different way, like a funny way, a wobbly way. So I'll put it into practice. Learning is fun. Or maybe when I speak to my mum, I'll speak to her in a different way, like a bit silly. Like, oh, hey mum, how are you doing? So I can put it into practice. So this is really challenging to do for some people. So think of a way where you can put it into practice. Okay, something very specific that you could go and do, right now, if I asked you to. So instead of me saying, oh yeah, like life can be fun, so I'm going to practice it. Oh yeah, I'm going to do fun things. I'm going to do fun things. That's going to be my practice. That's not practical. What do you mean? What do I mean? I'm going to do fun things. Like, well, go and do it, Gary. And that makes me think, oh, but what do I need to do? So, okay, I'll ring my mum and talk to her in a funny way. So that's what you're looking for. What can you actually go and do? So I hope you enjoyed the journey, brain tuning, and see you next time. Remember, keep living the dream. See you soon.